begets Microsoft. Mark, founder of Facebook. Gautam Adani, founder of Adani Group. Richard Branson, founder of Virgin Group. You might wonder what's common among them. Yes, these individuals are among the richest people in the world and are currently dominating the present world. Which brands is this first person associated with in his various endeavors? But one more thing is common among them. They have all successfully avoided a trap where everyone today is proudly putting themselves to change the reception of real. Too such in itself that despite their abundant information, no one reaches a sensible conclusion. I don't care. What do I have to do? If I have to move or start something, or maybe I'm not putting my chiller into a system. Doesn't understand the guest in a bill.
Is a hap just because don't on the kontar belanden? The us are more than 5 lakh. Nickel. No. And on the other hand, those possibly studying in college, doing assignments, keeping 90% attendance, memorizing books unwillingly, and following rules, hoping to graduate with a degree and get a good job.
After that, you will buy a big house for your parents, purchase a car with your hard-earned money, get married, send your children to good schools, and earn a lot of money. But do you know what the reality is? You started preparing. How old were you? At that time, we were 18 years old, and now we are 30 years old.
What have you done in the past 12 years? What did you study? Got degrees, posted in free words, qualified. Sir, after 15 years of hard work, you get a graduation degree.
Now you see you aren't getting a job. You attend many interviews, but get rejected everywhere. People mock you. Don't talk, and I haven't visited the village in 2 years. It's sad. Sir, what to say? I couldn't do it. I've studied till now and achieved nothing. You stop socializing, lock yourself in a room, and keep crying and praying for one thing, that gold somehow gets you a job. Gradually, your self-esteem and confidence start to diminish. Finally, somehow you get a job, but the salary is very low. But you can do it out of necessity. You start doing that job. The salary isn't enough to earn, save, and buy a house, so you take a home loan. Now with your own house, you should have a car too, so you take a car loan. Unknowingly, you've tied yourself up. Now you're always worried about getting fired, because then how will I manage expenses? The burden of the home loan, car loan, and children's school fees gradually suppress your dreams, and you quietly wake up, go to work, come home, whether you like it or not. And then one day comes when this life feels normal to you, and gradually, as you keep working, you grow old. You might feel that perhaps I wasn't determined, that's why I couldn't achieve much in life because I worked hard. But the truth is something entirely different, my friend, which is being kept hidden from you until now.
The Gang of Nine got together. I think it was and decided this is what people should work physic apologize Symmetra.
This is how fish work. The dose paper industry, or printing press, building is. The people who built the schools were consciously aiming at eradicating the will of the students or part of the system, because they want it to be a very physic foundation totally. Not a foundation at all.
The education system that you have been blindly following since childhood was created so that you could fail. The education system was designed so that you could become an obedient factory worker. You might think I'm just talking. Big promise. Just a few minutes, and then you'll track me yourself. Understood well, so. Coming with Dhirubhai Virat Kohli, Amir Khan, Narendra Modi. All these are part of our current education system. The year is 1806. A war takes place between Napoleon's army and Prussia, and despite having the best army, Prussia loses. The Prussian leaders do not understand how they could lose with such a good army. After much thought, their leaders realized that their army was strong, but during the war, instead of following their superiors' orders, they were using their own minds, whereas Napoleon's army was following only Napoleon's orders. And as a consequence of this defeat, Prussia has to give half of its territory to Napoleon and also sign a peace agreement. Now the Prussian leaders face a challenge. This should never happen to them again. But the question is, how will they do it? After much thought, Bill comes up with an idea, and then they start building a system. Obviously, the system was such that soldiers would do only what they were told to do. And what could be the best possible way to achieve this? To control those brains that are not yet capable of thinking for themselves, who do not know about right and wrong. That whatever is explained to them, they accept as truth, and thus a one-year education system is built. The Russian education system makes education compulsory for you from the age of 5 to 13 years. What is its purpose?
The Prussians produced a universal education system in the late 1800s because they were afraid they were using a not very superior method and they wanted to produce a cadre. Mine soldiers, that was.
The purpose is to transform the coming generation into a person who is obedient, follows every instruction of their superiors, and does only what is told, without asking a single question. During this tier of education, they are only taught enough to follow their superiors' orders, not enough to start thinking for themselves. The Persian leaders were getting exactly the results from this education system as they had planned. In this way, a system had been invented that was going to change everything in the future. And exactly, that's what happens. During that time, another thing was spreading rapidly in this world. Guess what? During the year 1760 to 1840, the Industrial Revolution was at its peak. The global economy was rapidly shifting in another direction. Until then, people were earning money by doing agriculture and making products by hand. Now, machines began to dominate the world. The amount of products that one person couldn't make in an entire month, one machine was producing much more in a single day. But there was a problem. And what was that problem? There was a shortage of workers in factories because people were doing agriculture in their fields, making products with their hands, running small businesses, and earning money. In such a situation, why would someone leave all this to work as a laborer in another's factory? And how can this problem be solved? The Prussian education system had already reached the people at the top due to its results. And now different countries start building their education systems based on the model of this Prussian education system. And this time, the sole purpose is to prepare a generation whose creativity is clicked so they have only one option to earn money. And that is, work as labor in factories. Who want to produce cadres subbed in work. That's why desks are in rows, and that's why factory bells, white top-down leadership. And this starts happening. The brains of the children of those who have been farming and running small businesses to earn money are brainwashed in such a way that when they complete their education, they are left with only one option to earn money. And that is working in a factory. And in this way, the shortage of laborers gradually starts to be fulfilled. At that time, our country was under British rule, and the issue was that there were only a few of them. Controlling such a large population was very difficult. The year is 1835. Thomas Babington Macaulay, whom you might have studied about in your school life. As Lord Macaulay, he prepares a proposal to promote English education in India, and Lord William Bentinck, who is the Governor General of the East India Company at that time, passes it through the English Education Act of 1835. And again, this education system is mostly based on the Prussian education system. And what's the purpose this time? People thought the Britishers were doing us a favor, wanting to show us all English. But what was the truth? Well, hear it from Macaulay himself. Education should create a class of people Indian in blood and color, but English in taste, opinion, morals, and intellect. Slowly but surely, The British achieved this goal. From clerks and officers to soldiers in the army, Indians are working everywhere. Now the British are using Indians to enslave Indians themselves. The brainwashing was done to such an extent that Indians began to consider following the Britishers' rules as their duty. You might be thinking, what a clever strategy the Britishers had. But anyway, it's been 76 years since independence. Everything is fine now, right? If you think so, in just a few minutes you'll laugh at your own thinking. What is the first thought that comes to your parents' mind after you are born, or maybe even before you are born? You know that I will send my child to a big school to study. Today in our country, schools and colleges are more about status than education. Our boy studies in a big school. Our boy studies in that college. As soon as you start speaking, your parents proudly get you admitted to a good school and then relax, thinking that they have enrolled their child in a big school. Now those people will shape my child's future. I just have to pay the fees on time. You go to school with a fresh, curious, and creativity-filled mind. A mind without any limitations. A mind that, if trained properly, could achieve a lot. But as soon as you go to school, you are given a syllabus with a combination of some subjects. And then that becomes your world. You think about them from morning till evening, and you study them. And if you think or read something else besides that, your marks are affected and then you get punished. But do your parents ever question what exactly this school, college coaching, or our child is actually teaching? Is our child's future really becoming bright? Does our child even like what is being taught? No, because they feel our child's future is being shaped, our child is becoming successful. And if you think even a little carefully, you will realize that during this entire school and college period, a process is underway to make you into a person who, when they come out of school and college, has only one goal in mind: somehow get a job. And in other words, someone should hire me.
Every child wants to get a government job and improve their family's financial situation. The main reason is that every person wants a government job, as it supports a person until their dying breath. That's why everyone thinks even a peon job would do.
But the government never teaches you to become self-dependent at any point during your entire schooling and college education. Why? Because this system was never designed to make you fully self-independent. The ultimate goal of this system was to provide the industry with one affordable and one excellent worker. This entire system is preparing a group of people who can follow their boss's orders, respect their superiors, and work day and night throughout the month, in the hope that at the end of the month I get one. Whether I like the work or not, people spend more than 25% of their lives in the education system to be less educated than themselves. No one wants you to become self-dependent or a millionaire by joining a man's company and working with him. Why would anyone want you to become a millionaire or self-dependent? How would it benefit them? Because if you become self-dependent, you won't follow orders, you'll question everything. You'll raise your voice against wrong things, and you never understand the trap, because when you're put into this trap, you're not old enough to think or understand anything. And by the time you reach the age where you're capable of thinking, it's already too late. This system has been followed for the past 15 to 20 years, and it brainwashes you in such a way that you start believing this is the right thing, or you reach an age where you have a lot of responsibilities. You cannot escape this trap, even if you want to, because now you have to earn money by any means.
Unemployment is crossing limits, but even elders are pressuring to get a job, bring in money.
And for 20 years, the hard work you did, giving locks to your school, college coaching, just hoping for a 30 to 40k job. But do you know Styles? About City, Youth in India, and when? Today in our country, 42% of graduates under 25 are unemployed, and even if they get a job, you would be surprised to know that truck drivers in America earn 10 times more than the average salary of engineers in our country. So look, brother, in America, a truck driver, even when work is slow, earns around 10 to 12, which means roughly 1 million rupees in India. And when work is good, they earn 1.6 million rupees in India. Not earning that much. So what's the solution to all this? Should we stop going to school? Should we stop going to college? Millions are attending arid school, going to colleges. So am I saying they're all wrong? Well, you haven't understood yet. Let I explain. Promote something so extensively that it transforms into a new way of life and people follow it quietly without asking any questions. Today we simply need to ask a straightforward question. Who created this education system and why? And you must have gotten the answers to both by now. When this system was built, the world needed a large number of workers. But today, what is the situation like today?
Is you crack the it and you're set full at a big professor to have not any more the news coming out of the IITs is rotting in the Bombay campus. 36% students are yet to be placed. We were talking about the best engineering college in India. Last was more of the same. We looked at other it in the deadly campus, 40% students were not placed.
In 2023 in Camper, 3% were not placed, even yesterday by following this system. People lived an average life and died. Neither could they fulfill themselves, nor could they leave a big legacy for their children. And even today, by following this system, no one is becoming a millionaire. They are stuck in a paycheck-to-paycheck life and living in fear.
So many are getting laid off, wondering if I'm next. And because of this fear, I'm putting my self-respect on the line, following all my superiors' orders, and quietly doing the work, whether I like it or not. We have two options in front of us. We can either not accept reality and remain trapped in this cycle, dragging our children into it as well, or we can carve our own path, explore what we should do, and discover possible ethical ways to earn the amount we desire. Now we don't need more college graduates whose end goal is just one job and don't have any skill at all. This so-called college degree, the times have changed. The skills for which you used to pay lakhs to college and give 5 to 6 precious years of your life, yet you would come out without learning any. Now you can learn even the most advanced skills through online courses at a much lower fee, and that too from those who have achieved something significant by using that skill, not from those whose knowledge is limited only to TV. If you are parents, then send your child to school, college, but more importantly, give them exposure. Tell them that there's a lot to do in this world. Maths, chemistry, and physics aren't the whole world. There's much more. Motivate your child to explore different things. If the marks are low, it's okay. Maybe they are learning a skill where they are performing much better. Today, we take a drop year 4G, NEET, Gate on Air drop. But have you ever taken a year off to understand your own passion, to know your own interests, to explore different opportunities? Do you want a stable and average life? Whether you want to achieve something big, earn money, or pursue your dream, the decision is yours. Thank you so much for watching this documentary till the end. I have been working hard for so many days to make this documentary. And finally this documentary is ready and has reached you and you have watched it till the end. Thank you so much for this support. If you really like this documentary, then please subscribe to the channel and like this documentary video. And do let me know in the comment if there is any shortcoming or whatever you have to say about this documentary. Do let me know in the comments and try to share this with as many people as possible because we are creating a new channel. So the more you share it with people, the more awareness will spread. Once again, thank you so much for watching this documentary till the end. And thank you for giving so much love.